We're taking a moment to re-record part of the discussion today because we want everyone to have the advantage of good information about the issues that we're discussing. There are two issues that come forward right now. They're both embodied in House Bill 2025. It became a part of the law June 1st last year, 2017, and is currently under the process of review and comment to convert the law as the legislature produced it into the regulations that we will have to deal with as licensees. That legislation has two features that could be a problem for us. One of them is the ombudsman. It considerably changes their latitude and scope of responsibilities. We should have a colleague's relationship with them. It should not be adversarial. And it's very clear that this is drifting in that direction. We would very much like to have an opportunity to talk with our licensing agency about making that a process where we are working together and not at odds with each other. There's been a tremendous increase in ombudsman staff over the last few years. Their latitude and authorization for action has increased considerably. And you know yourselves from having lived in the world, when you add a lot of staff, the first thing that has to happen is a lot of training. That staff has to be seasoned. Sometimes people do not have the judgment to support the authority that they carry. And we've all dealt with those kinds of situations in our professional lives. So we need to work on that and deal with the ombudsman issue in a constructive, forthright way. They are needed. We do not in any way disparage their presence or contribution in this industry. They are especially needed in medical model facilities and medical care facilities. Big buildings, high staff turnover, lots of things that can happen that are really very problematic, and where it's a difficult job to supervise and give leadership and training in those settings. Our settings are different. We're custodial. We take care of people in our homes. We do not provide medical services. We're not a malpractice threat. We don't usually have the same staff turnover issues. Our educational requirements, while they're the same, are probably carried forward in a more forthright and constructive way because we don't miss as much on the training responsibility. And it's hard to do training because you're so busy doing, and I recognize that. But I think we probably, as our factor in the industry shows, do a better job of training. And training is gold. When you do that, your people do better. And so we need to support that ombudsman effort. We need to train our staff. We need to support the ombudsman in helping train them about what we do. Because a lot of them are new, and there now is a stratification. There are different levels of ombudsman. Can make a difference in how they perceive and work with us. So there's that issue within the legislation. We'll be sending that out as an email so everyone can have it. I encourage you to talk to your friends who are in this business who may or may not be Torch members. We need their help. We need their input. This affects all of us. It appears that it doesn't affect people who have more than 60 beds. But there's some question on that, and again, this needs to be worked through as a part of the conversion from law to regulations. Does it mean, if it's 60 beds as a limit for applicability, does it apply to me if I have more than 60 beds at a single community? Or does it apply to me if I have more than 60 beds at 7 communities? Apples and oranges, which is it? We don't know from reading the law. In addition, the second factor that is critically important, we are not medical services facilities. At the same time, this legislation provides that we will carry the same penalties and responsibilities as a nursing home. That's not what we are. We are not a medical provision service. We are a home provision service. Sometimes medical specialists come into our properties to deliver services on a short-term basis, but we are not a skilled nursing facility. We do not offer that array or depth of medical services and should not be judged on those same criteria. So we are providing that legislation. We want you to take a look at it. We will have at least one meeting in Austin with the general counsel for our licensing agency in an effort to try to see what we can do about matching the intent, spirit, and purpose of the law with the regs that we will all have to deal with. We learned about this very recently. It went through what's called a stakeholders meeting. Those are public hearings in January. And people were out of the room. I don't know what happened, but Janoyce Wilson, who many of you know, did not attend that particular meeting. She learned about it about 3 weeks later. Other people that would normally report to us tell us they didn't hear about this. So we're going to have to rally and deal with this issue as promptly as we possibly can. The next speaker is probably going to be Terry Hubbard, who had a conversation with one of the legislators who sponsored this legislation. Thank you.